Hey there. Welcome to Projection Reflection. I'm your host, Coordinato, and today's review is Christopher Robin. This film, oh man, it was directed by Mark Foster, who surprisingly directed Finding Neverland, which is also a great magical film, just like this one. He directed Stranger Than Fiction, Quantum of Solace, and World War Z, so I believe he was a pretty good pick considering he directed Finding Neverland. He was a very good pick to direct this film. Of course, this Christopher Robin is based on the books, the Winnie the Pooh books by A.A. Milnes. And the film stars Ewan McGregor as Christopher Robin, Haley Atwell, who you might know as Peggy Carter from the Avengers films, as Evelyn Robin, Christopher Robin's wife. And, of course, Ewan McGregor, if you don't know who Ewan McGregor is, he's been in plenty of films. Most notably, he was Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. And he's in one of my favorite films, Big Fish. You have, I believe it's Bronte Carmichael as Madeline Robin. And she's a new, kid actress. Of course, she plays Christopher Robin's daughter, and she did a pretty good job in the film. Getting back to the rest of the cast here, we have Jim Cummings as Pooh and Tigger. Jim Cummings has been doing Pooh's voice for a very long, at least since the 80s, I believe. Brad Garrett as Eeyore, Nick Mohammed as Piglet, Peter Capaldi as Rabbit, Sophie Okonedo as Kanga, Sarah Sheen as Roo, and Toby Jones as Owl. The plot of the film is that we follow Christopher Robin as he has grown up and lost his sense of imagination and what is most important in life, which is his family. He's stuck in a job. He's stuck in his job. He's stuck in his work. He just does nothing but work. He concentrates on nothing but his job, and his family life is suffering because of that, and his daughter feels neglected. But the thing that happens in this film is that he is soon unexpectedly reunited with his old stuffed bear friend, Winnie the Pooh, who is there to save the day, who's there to save Christopher Robin from himself, actually. This film, I have not seen a film so heartfelt in a very long time. I absolutely loved this movie, and it gave me the feels hard. I absolutely loved Winnie the Pooh and all his friends in this movie. It was so great seeing all these characters again on the big screen. I remember seeing the Winnie the Pooh, the movie, back in theaters when I was little, and I also remember seeing the Tigger movie when I was little. And I had a whole bunch of Winnie the Pooh VHS tapes, so I'm very connected to these characters. As a kid, I loved Winnie the Pooh. And just seeing these characters on the big screen and portrayed as they were in this film, it was so great. All the voice actors did such a great job. I loved Brad Garrett as Eeyore. He was hilarious in this movie. Brad Garrett, if you don't know, he played the elder brother in Everybody Loves Raymond. He was just so funny. Eeyore had so many funny lines in this movie. Jim Cummings, of course, was magical as Pooh. He just did such a great job, and just the moments between Christopher Robin and Pooh in this film are just so great. They really hit you right here. Um, let's see. Ewan McGregor was very charming and heartfelt as Christopher Robin. Like, you just went on this journey with him in this movie as as we see him as a child. Well, we see him as a child, and then we see him grow up. He just goes through all these things in life that make him lose his sense of imagination and what it meant to be a kid. He just lost himself in his work and being in the war. Ewan McGregor portrayed this character so well in this movie. Just how much that he had lost, and of course what we see in the movie, what he gets back. It's an out of the park performance for Ewan McGregor in this movie. Christopher Robin is just he's a complex character in this film. Like, I know, like, this is a children's movie, but it felt like this film was made for adults more than kids, because I feel there was so much adult, like, content, like, not like bad content, but just things that adults go through were in this film, and I feel like the adults would understand those parts of the movie more than the kids, and I feel like us adults can appreciate this movie even maybe more than children, because it helps us see, of course, the faults. It helps us, well, not the fault. It helps us see that there's more to life than our jobs. There's our families and being with them, and that's like one of the main, like, points to this film, is that family is everything, and just never lose sight of your imagination and never lose sight of fun in general. There's so much symbolism in this movie, and I'm gonna give a couple of spoilers in this review when I mention the symbolism here. The employees at the job that Christopher Robin works at, called Winslow Enterprises, they are in a way supposed to be like kind of the Winnie the Pooh characters, because one of the guys is very much like Eeyore, and one of the women is very much like Piglet, and I couldn't pinpoint the other characters, but those two I could definitely see in the movie, because I loved that, and that they took that kind of symbolism in the film, like, hey, we're gonna make these human characters a lot like the characters in Christopher Robin's imagination. There was a part in the film where Christopher Robin, he keeps a compass from his time in the war, and in parts of the film he gives it to Pooh to help them try and find Winnie the Pooh's friends, because they've gone missing. And one of the ending parts of the film, he gives the compass to Pooh, and I feel like, in a way, him giving that compass to Pooh is him letting go of those memories of the war. Like, I feel like those are other memories that keep him from, expressing, love towards his family and living life, because I feel like that was, like, the war and stuff that he had gone through as a kid, it shut him down. Like, it kept him out from, he just grew up way too fast. Like, he had to grow up fast in this film because of what happened to him, what happened in one of the parts of the film when he was a kid, and of course with the war, it just shut him down. It shut that part of him down, that fun, loving, childlike part of him. It shut the child inside of him, and I like that, of course, in the movie, Winnie the Pooh and his friends bring that child back out. But the compass, when he gives it to Winnie the Pooh, he's letting go of those memories. I feel like that's one of the things that's being symbolized. There's a thing with Heffalumps and Woozles in this, and the characters think that, like, Owl, Pooh, Rabbit, Piglet, all those characters, they think that Christopher Robin is a Heffalump, and he kind of has become a Heffalump, because Heffalumps are a form of misery and sadness and just downright, no fun. That's what Heffalumps are. They're very, very depressed, like, creatures, and very mean creatures, but it's, in a way, it's some of them saying that Christopher Robin is a Heffalump. They're saying, hey, you're so different, we don't even recognize you anymore because you're so just down on yourself and depressed, and you don't want to You don't want to do what you're doing in life because you're just depressed and sad and you want more from life and you're shutting that out. You need to let it out. You need to let that child inside of you come back out again and explore life. And you need to explore that life with your child. And I loved that. Just the whole inner child thing in this film. There's a lot of symbolism with that. Christopher Robin needing to bring that side of him back out in order to connect with his daughter, because his daughter, like, she just feels completely neglected from him in this movie. And I don't know if I'm just thinking about the movie too much, but that's what I get from the movie, is that I even get like that. Like, I think that's what hit me so hard, is because we all get so consumed in life with jobs and all the stress of life, just stuff, so many things we have to do, we just forget about what's important. We forget about what's most important, is that it's our family and being with them and caring for them and loving them. And that's what this film is about. It's about being together and making the time for your family. Let's see. I gotta say again, this is the most heartfelt film I have seen in a long, long, long time. Like, I teared up at least 3 times during this movie. It really got me. It really, really got me at certain parts of this film. I loved all the quotes. Of course, they took quotes straight from the book and put them into the film. Like, the one quote is, like, people say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. And one of the main quotes in the film is kind of a spin-off from that quote, is doing nothing often leads to the very best kind of something. And Winnie the Pooh's right. It said doing nothing does often lead to the very best kind of something. But this film, it definitely deserves a 5 out of 5. It's too good. Like, another thing I gotta mention is the effects. The effects in the film are just great. Like, Pooh and all his friends just seem like they're there. Like, they look like they're really there. And the way they animated Pooh is just awesome. Like, when he gets honey on his fur, like, it looks like it's there. It looks very real, and the effects in this film are just outstanding with the characters. Man, this film, I can't find anything that I don't like about it. It's just so good. I don't know if this is just the nostalgic me looking at it, I looked at this film through a kid's eyes, through my eyes as a child, and I feel like the people who would give this movie a bad review just have lost the sense of being a kid. I feel like you have to look into yourself when you're seeing this movie. You have to be like, you have to bring that inner child back out, because my inner child definitely came back out watching this movie, and that's why I teared up so much, because it hit me that hard. This film, it definitely deserves a 5 out of 5 from me. Definitely. 5 out of 5. So, yeah, sorry about this. I know this isn't one of my Dragon Ball Z reviews. I've been doing those. I brought my first one out. The next one will come out soon, probably sometime this week. But look forward to that, and hope you guys enjoyed the review. So, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Christopher Robin, look at me. Tell me what you see. Do you remember how we used to be?